Patrick Ricey, we have breaking Timberwolves news. As of last night, we got a post from Rudy Gobert that he just emerged from 64 hours in full darkness in an Aaron Rodgers-like darkness retreat. This must be the new thing to get your life right, complete darkness for 64 hours.
Yeah, except Aaron was 4 days, right? So Rudy kind of went short here, didn't he? Wasn't Aaron supposed to be 4 days? I thought it was 4 days. Rudy sounds like he backed out. You know, the good thing about it, I hear he was practicing his free throws in there and it didn't make any difference. So he could in complete darkness. It didn't make any difference what he was. Did he contemplate the hitch when he shoots free throws as he was in the darkness saying, why are you a 30-year-old man and still shoot free throws like an 8-year-old kid? Did he think about that while he was in there?
He contemplated Tim Conley's trade. That's what he contemplated. How on earth could somebody trade 5 draft picks for me?
Yeah, including a young man who's better than me. But anyway, it was. That's good. Well, Rudy, that'll just be the source of more fun for us. But I suppose it'll also the Wolf homers will tell us this shows how serious Rudy is to making this thing work. By God. So anyway, that's weird. So there was no story on this though, just him on Instagram, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I bet there'll be something that emerges probably in the next, 12 hours or so on it. But yeah, so 64 hours in the darkness in Southern Oregon in a shack, what it looks like. It literally, Pat, I don't know if you saw Lord of the Rings. It kind of looks like a Shire house. Like there's a door and then there's just it's like it's into the boulder. It looks ridiculous.
It wasn't the same place Aaron went then. Aaron,
I don't think so, but
it looks like the exact same shack, though.
Does it?
Does it?
It's these little shacks, and I guess they come at like 6 o'clock at night and knock and shove the food in there, and so that's when you know it's 6 o'clock because it's dinner time.
Oh, okay. Well, what are we accomplishing? I guess we're contemplating life. When you're my age, you can't waste 3 days like that in the darkness. You gotta go. You can't be without TV for 3 days.
That's what I was gonna say. I wouldn't do that crap for 1 second.
No. I mean, I could go to a place and watch TV for 68 hours, right? Yeah, I mean, you could have to if you were in a small little shack, and you'd find something, right? You'd have to have all the streaming, no? You'd have to have all the possibilities. You'd have to have something.
Big screen too. Big
screen. Yeah, big screen.
None of the small screens crap for me.
No more of these fancy spa hotel retreats like Hotel Ivy downtown, Pat. Now the new norm is 64 hours in darkness to cleanse your entire spirit and your entire palate to get you a new outlook on life.
Well, I guess. I wonder what caused Rudy to feel like he needed it. Aaron obviously was having extreme issues, and did the league make him stop smoking that weed he was smoking from Bolivia or wherever the hell it was? Is that why he had to do this? I don't know what happened, but Rudy, yeah, he's a strange duck. So good for him. I hope it find peace with the way the last season went.
Don't punch your teammates.
Yeah. And Pat, here I got a picture of it here. I'll flash it on the YouTube screen for the YouTube audience also to see this here as it slowly makes its way in. Here's what it looks like.
Oh my God! So that's how did he get in the door? He's 7 foot tall, for goodness sakes.
Yeah,
sideways, Pat. They shoved him inside. They just put him in like a box.
And that's quite a comfortable chair you have outside if you want to go out, right? You can go out there. Who's sitting in the chair? Is that somebody sitting there making sure you don't sneak out or what?
Maybe little warden. The warden of the darkness retreat sits right there.
Be.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, people are strange. What the hell?
Exactly.
Go for it, Rudy.
Exactly. So, Patrick, I just checked. The Panthers and Hurricanes are in their 12th OT. They're still playing right now. It's still going. It's an incredibly competitive game still. Fantastic.
No, I'm sure we're going to read all these odes to what a wonderful evening, what a wonderful battle it was. It has nothing. By the time you get to a second overtime, much less a fourth, it has nothing to do with who the better team is. It's just who gets lucky. How was the winning goal scored? Did you see it?
Turnover by Carolina fed the Panthers player fed his teammate Matthew Tkachuk, who actually scored on a nice shot. But
Okay.
you once again, as the future commissioner, as Gary Bettman's replacement, have the idea to fix overtime playoff hockey.
Yes. 1 overtime, and then we play 3-on-3. Because it is just as legitimate. The outcome 3-on-3 is just as legitimate as having a bunch of guys dragging their ass up and down the ice, in a third overtime or something. But it was, I'm sure, a classic game for all those rubes down in Carolina and Florida who never saw a hockey game in their life until 2 years ago. I'm sure they're all telling each other how great it was, and even though 98% of them didn't stay up and watch it. So anyway.
Yeah.
The Panthers, though, you get in overtime with them, you're out of luck, right? How many times they won in overtime?
I don't know off the top of my head, but
4 or 5 times.
They barely made the playoffs. They're
eight,
very 91 North Stars. They're very 91 North Stars right now.
Yeah, they're probably better than that team, though. They're pretty good, aren't they? I mean, my guy Such, by the way, Such had no chance to ever get to the first overtime, much less, he's got his 10:30 curfew. But he loves the Panthers. He's watched them a couple of times and thought that the way they play is rather amazing. Who's their coach? Who's coaching them down there?
For the Panthers?
Yeah.
Paul Maurice, who coached the Jets, who quit on the Jets last year.
He quit on the Jets?
He quit. He halfway through
one of the few guys not to get fired, huh?
He said, I can't coach this team. They won't listen. It's over. I quit.
Really? And then they hired him before this year in Florida?
Yes.
It's amazing. I wonder if you go through we got 32 teams now. I wonder if you go through the 32 teams, how many of them this is their first job? Is there 5?
Ooh.
You think there'd be 5 of the 32 that this is their first NHL job?
I believe the Blackhawks coach, Rhett Hughes, this is his first job.
John Cooper in Tampa. This is still his first job.
Oh, I
first
see.
Job.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But the rest of them, when you go to the recycled bill, it's unbelievable. No, it is crazy. Well, congratulations to the Panthers, an 8 seed. Well, we've had some 8 seeds make the finals in the NHL, though we haven't in the NBA. It would be, if Miami does it, it'll be fantastic. How about what if 2 8 seeds make the championship? Yeah. The Heat and these guys, it's unbelievable. It would be fantastic. The only trouble is there are no Miami fans who went to Vegas and bet on their teams because it's the worst sports town. That's the great thing about it. It's the worst sports town in America. Just a bunch. The Heat all year, that building was half full. I think they had their tickets sold, but nobody was showing up. And the Panthers, nobody ever shows up. And now they're jammed in. Hey, where's Phoenix going to end up? Houston?
I think so.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'd probably like to have their own arena. They go to Kansas City, they have their own arena.
Yep. It's Salt Lake City, Kansas City, Houston, and Quebec. But I don't think they're going back to Canada now.
No, they aren't. But
I'd love Quebec.
I would think they're not going to Salt Lake either, for goodness sakes. That's not a big enough market for two pro teams. But Houston's big enough. But I don't know. How old is that arena now? 10 years? 12 years?
Which one?
The one in Houston?
Yeah, it's probably about 15. No, it's probably 15 to 20 years old, right?
Yeah, so that's,
they moved there a while
ago. That's the other thing is they're probably looking for anybody who'd build them a new arena, right? Everybody wants a new arena.
Kansas City build theirs, Royce?
It's been a while. It's probably been 15 years too, right? Mm-hmm. They were hoping they build it on prospectively to get it some team. They've been trying to get a team down there for years and in the NBA or the NHL, but they got to be 15 years old too now. So everybody's got to have the new ones by now, right? So how about Atlanta? Let's go to Atlanta. Let's try it again.
Fourth time.
Don't laugh. They're talking about it. So Atlanta,
sure.
Atlanta wants an expansion team now, way out in the suburbs, I think, in Gwinnett County, by where the
Sure.
Braves are. They are
Sure.
actually talking about trying to get the next expansion team, but they wouldn't go downtown again, which is where they were.
No, I mean, Atlanta. It's one of the most racist moves in sports to get out of this. We're going to go out to the suburbs where there's no soul food restaurants next door, and it's been an unbelievable success for them. They draw 38,000 a night. They basically build a city out there, I guess, around the ballpark. It's unbelievable. Plus, they're the best team in baseball right now, and they got the best player in baseball in Acuna. So,
no, they did what the Patriots did. They basically took their own fiefdom.
Yes,
because
right.
Foxborough's not legit.
No,
Foxborough is just Patriotsville.
And Foxborough, though, was a dump at first, and now the new stadium is, completely different. But God, I hate going to that. You've been to that place, right? I hate going to that place. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Now, I'm sure there's many houses, many housing developments around it now, but I hated it originally.
There's not enough roads. That's their problem. Game day is just a bottleneck, and you have to stay in either Providence or Boston because it's halfway between each. There's nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was never a big fan of the times we went to Foxborough. So anyhow, let's see what else we got going on this weekend. What do
Twins Angels in LA? Twins Angels in LA.
Angels. So they didn't. I thought Polanco was hurt, but Julian played last night and for the Saints in Columbus, and Miranda played. So
didn't call anybody up.
If they were going to put Polanco on the DL, I would have thought that they wouldn't have had Julian play last night or something. So he supposedly got a. Phil mentioned it today, though. He supposedly got a hamstring or something.
Phil implied that they're probably going to call Julian up, I think, today or tomorrow, but they're going to keep Polanco. It's weird. I don't know why you wouldn't have just called Julian up and IL'd Polanco yesterday.
Yeah, it makes no sense. What don't you want him? I looked at the Saints and I said, well, maybe Polanco's not hurt. Or are they going to wait till he comes in today to find out if he can play or not? Maybe. Yeah, then you got to fly the guy. Then you got to fly the guy from Columbus, and he won't get there in time to play.
Very old school Twins.
That's Twins. That's Calvin. Nah, put a Band-Aid on it. Steve Bry's got a broken hand. That's okay. He could be a pinch runner for a month.
Pat, did you see the game time for the St. Paul Saints yesterday in their AAA game?
No.
1 hour and 46 minutes
in a
9-inning game. The fastest game, I believe, in 30 years for the Saints.
Now I have an observation, however. It's slowing down a little. Major League Baseball. Don't you think? Have you been looking? It's now the other day, like the average was 240, 242 or something. I think they're coming up with some gimmicks to slow it down a little. Plus, I think, remember the breaks were supposed to be faster too, TV?
Yeah.
I think they're slipping in an extra 30 seconds or so. The breaks seem extra long to me too. So I think I think if they come out, it's going to be like 5-6 minutes faster this week than it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. I think they're adding a little time back on by just maybe taking more timeouts, the hitters and the pitchers. I don't know what they're doing, but it's slowing down a little bit.
It feels like, Pat, we're seeing the catchers go out to talk to the pitchers more. And Pete Mackey's making a lot of trips. Too many trips for my liking.
But he's going like this. You can't learn. He can't do all the secrets.
I love that.
All the secrets he has. The spies want to know that when you come in and say, "Hey, get back in the strike zone," they want to. We don't want you to give away those secrets. So, or Emilio.
Yeah.
Don't give in, Emilio. The bases are loaded. Don't give in. Throw another breaking ball on 3-2 here, Emilio. Don't throw a strike.
No need to cover your mouth.
We'd rather lose the game than throw a cookie. Don't do that. We'd rather lose the game, Emilio.
The only words to him should be rated R. That's my opinion.
Rated
R words.
You know what we have now, by the way? The bloggers are now defending Emilio.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
they
kind of
were
like,
defending him this week.
yeah, after
Before.
that, there have been, well, he's been really good. Yes, low pressure situations, he's been okay. He's gutless, okay? He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. So, but it is funny how the alternate media, I would call it, is really trying to correct us when we ever get on anybody, right?
You know, for years and years, Patrick, you were the one guy in this town who was the expert at the contrarian view. I think you need to teach contrarian view classes because these people are very confused about a correct contrarian view.
Well, their contrarian view becomes, no, this guy is way better than all you people think. You know, it's the Kirk Cousins theory, right? It's good. I thought a lot of Kirk though was political. I've said that before, but Emilio, I don't know what it would be. I don't know why you would be defending this idiot, but you know, that, hey, my stuff's good. No, it's not. It's not good.
He's been saying
It's
that for
not
2
good.
years. My stuff was great. I said, he's been saying that for 2 years. My stuff was fantastic. I gave
No,
it 4 runs.
it's not good. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you're hurt, get Julian. By the way, I said this yesterday. I think his on base is well over 400 still. So leadoff hitter, you got one. Let's go. Polanco's obviously banged up. It's not the same. So
Pat, PGA Championship this weekend, and
yes,
Rory McIlroy. And now he did salvage a little bit on the back nine, but he's won over. He said he's battling an illness. What the hell has happened to this guy this year? I mean, he has just been terrible.
he was great early though. He was great early in the season. He was the best. He won. You know, he and Rahm were the two best players. He won for, you know, he won a couple, and he was always in there. But bottom line is, he's not a putter. He's not a great putter.
Yeah.
And if he's not hitting it great, then he makes a lot of bogeys. Because
Right.
if he has to you know, if he has to make an 8-9 footer for par, he's probably going to miss it. He's not a great putter. But it is funny that he didn't play at Heritage or whatever they call that damn thing now. It used to be the Heritage. And did you see that the PGA took $3 million away from him? $3 million was guaranteed money.
Yep.
I don't know, with this battle going on and Liv drawing some better crowds here, if it's smart to get, you don't want Rory to stand up and go over and flip sides here.
He's been so against it, though. I don't think he can.
Yeah, I think he's too outspoken. Yeah, he's
most
outspoken. Outspoken. But yeah, he's one of their 2 or 3 biggest guys, and to have him not playing well isn't good for them. But
does Bryson still lead this morning?
No, some guy named Eric Cole is a rookie, but Bluto is in there. I don't, you know, he's been terrible on the Live. He's been terrible for a year and a half. But the Live folks will have fun if they end up winning this one. So.
Oh yeah. Pat, last thing for me. I know you haven't swung them in a while and they've redone the course, but I'm playing a Minneapolis Country Club today.
My favorite Minneapolis Golf Club. My favorite golf course in the Twin Cities. I don't play anymore, but it's a magnificent golf course and home of the 1959 or 1960 PGA.
Yeah.
When Jerry Barber and Bob Rosberg dueled for the championship. It's a great golf course. My favorite golf course because it's tough but fair.
Okay.
It's a great golf course. It's my favorite. Plus the membership was always a lot of fun because they, you know, they're pretty up there on the revenue list, but they're not quite as there's not quite the same vibe as you get at Interlaken or Minnetonka. It's kind of a little more. The guys that play there play 100 times a year, most of them. I mean, they're addicts. They got a lot of golf addicts at that place. Great golf course.
Quick play, Declan. Pace of play, very important.
Oh, that's my
don't piss off the patrons.
My 22 handicap. I know when to pick up that ball and to just move on, baby. That is that's how I go when I'm out there.
Yeah. Reload on the first tee, and after that, no mulligans, baby. Just go.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Royce. We'll talk to you on Unchained on Monday. Okay.
See ya, gents. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you, Pat. By the way, hit us up, Purple Daily Score North. We'll have a couple different live shows going on with Judd and myself.